Hey guys, it's Adell Harris here, back again for another episode of the Refuse to Lose blog. The Dear Adell segment has lifted off. This has been great for me. I'm so happy I get to interact, engage with the Refuse to Lose audience, hopefully help some people. You know, that's the ultimate goal of everything I'm trying to do, is maybe add value to the lives of others, get you to think about things a little differently, and turn those into things that you feel and can act on in the future. So the Dear Adell segment today hits really close to home, and a lot of you who know my story understand this. I got a question from Lisa. Lisa asked, I can tell Lisa's an ambitious person because she's at this crossroad, and this is what'll happen. Lisa asked, I'm trying to do some things in my life. I'm growing. I want to become the best version of myself, pretty much. I'm paraphrasing. And my father is a distraction in that. I don't think he adds value to my journey right now. And a lot of people tolerate him in the family. I don't think I can be one of those people. I think that I have to disassociate myself. I have to remove myself from his energy if I'm going to grow and have peace. Have peace and joy and be free from the energy and control that he may have over my thinking and my feeling and then ultimately my actions. Because that's what happens, guys. We think, our thoughts turn into feelings, and our feelings turn into actions. Our bodies are the instrument of our mind. And if we have people who can come in and dictate how we think and how we feel, then they can dictate how we act, right? And so that's really vital. And our parents do that. There's no question about it. You can convince yourself all you want, but your parents have the ability, because they knew you first. And they use that energy too. They knew you first to say something that gets under your skin, makes you feel a kind of way. They can say something that they can make a look with their face that doesn't support you and what you just said, and totally get you all off track and get you thinking about something. I know, right? And so Lisa is saying, how do I, eliminate him and not feel guilty about it? Or how do I even do it? And so, Lisa, this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you this. If your gut and your heart are telling you this and you're at this crossroad, you need to disassociate yourself from your father. You're put on this earth to run your race, live your life, and we don't have a long time to be here. We just really don't. And every segment of our life is so important. And what I mean by so important is you're at a point where you're trying to grow and become something, right? That you weren't at this point 5 years ago. And you won't be at this point 5 years from today. You're at this point now. There's this sense of urgency, a curiosity about, okay, how do I figure out how to navigate and become what I want to be and achieve my goals? And you've identified that he is an issue. And I could be talking to someone else right now. It could be your mom, right? It could be your mom or father, or even a grandparent, or usually grandparents are great, or an uncle or a cousin or a brother or sister. It doesn't matter. You got to remove that energy. And because they're your family, always trust that you're going to be able to grow together at some point and meet again, right? Or you're going to grow. Okay, your growth is going to go to a place where they won't have as much control over your thoughts and your feelings like they do now. But you have to have separation right now in order to get your mind strong enough, okay, in order to fill it with new ideas, new energy, new successes, so that you don't depend on them or they don't come in and disrupt all of that. So you got to grow outside of them. And then you can always come back. After you've grown and you can look them in the face and know that they don't really have that much control over you anymore, now you're in a healthier place. And it's never about them. It's always about you, right? It's always about your commitment to you and your growth and your goals. And I understand it. It's like being in a toxic relationship with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You can't stay in a space that doesn't allow you to become the best version of yourself. You need cheerleaders. You need positive energy. You need people who are going to add value. You need smart people. You need people who have already been the places you want to go. You need non-judgment. You just need it all. And your responsibility is to put yourself in those spaces. And if you've identified, Lisa, look, my dad's energy is toxic for me. The family knows it. We kind of ignore it. We just say that's him. Okay, well, I'm not. I got to separate right now. And you may have to have an adult decision, okay, or adult conversation. And this is one of the things I wish I would have did with my mother, because I had this very crossroad, and I just stopped talking to her. I didn't tell her. I just stopped talking to her. I stopped associating. I stopped going home. I just kept distance, and I was committed to growing. I needed to be a success. I just put my head down and I tried to learn as much as I could about how to become the best version of myself. And I almost just, the more and more I learned and grew over here, I started to become even more angry about like her and him. My father wasn't there either. My parents' inability to provide me with that. But here's the thing. Your parents aren't here to provide you with everything, right? They're not here to provide you with everything. Like, for the most part, they've pretty much given you your foundation. They brought you into this world. For me, I was adopted, so my parents chose me. My mom kept a roof over my head. I was fed. I had great Christmases. I don't have anything to truly complain about in that regards. So I was given what I needed to be given. Now I'm an adult. You're an adult, Lisa, or you wouldn't have emailed me. You're an adult. So now you got to make adult decisions and say, okay, this is what I need in my life to plant these seeds of success, of growth, of abundance, financially, spiritually, emotionally. This is who I got to be. And right now I have to disassociate myself with my father. And if you have the type of father, I don't know, but maybe you have the type of father that you could sit down with and have a real conversation with. Okay, maybe you can look him in the eye and say, look, right now, what I'm going to do is, this is my goal, and this is going to be my focus for the next 24 months or whatever it is. And just communicate your goals with them and let them know that you're serious about what you're trying to get done. And you may not have to say that I'm disassociating myself from you or whatever, but maybe he can take that as, okay, she's focused and she's serious and she's locked in on something else that's really important to her. Okay. Or, I don't know if you can't have that conversation, then maybe just, slowly move out, move on, move away, drift off. And no need to feel guilty about this. And you wrote in your letter that, how do I not feel guilty about it? You don't need to feel guilty for putting yourself first. We owe it to ourselves to take care of ourselves. I promise you can come back after you have grown and become the woman who can stand in front of your father and not allow him to control his energy, to control and dominate the way you think and feel. Man, that's where you need to be. That's where you need to be. He's just practiced for the way the world is. Let me tell you that. Society is going to present you with that kind of energy from men or from whoever else, where you're going to have the ability to have the strength between the ears that allows you to stand up in those situations and in those spaces. And right now, if hey, I'm not ready to do that, then grow, right? Then grow and don't feel bad about growth. Right. And one of the best things that happened to me, and I'm going to wrap this up. One of the best things that happened to me, Lisa, was, I spent almost 8 years not liking my mother. And I feel bad about that. I really do. I felt bad about it. And I apologize. I tried to do right by her later on. But in those 8 years, I put my head down. I was only surrounded by things and people that loved me and supported me. I read a lot. I fed my mind. I stayed locked in on my dreams and goals. And what happened was, when I came back around to time for me to have a strong relationship with my mother, not only did her words and energy not affect me at all, didn't send me on any sort of emotional roller coaster. I was totally in control of me. I understood that she was living her journey, and her energy really had nothing to do with me anyway, ever. Never had anything to do with me. It's all about her. And I grew into the person who could be in her space without being controlled like a puppet. Now, that was positive. But the other thing was that I had also grown to become the person who could take care of her. Because you got to realize, you're trying to become the woman who can at some point look and take care of the family, take care of your father. He's getting older too, right? So in 10 years now, you lock in, you get focused, you become the mentally strong woman who can go out into this world and earn an income, or has the confidence and courage to do certain things, or chooses the right men in your life because you were able to identify, hey, I don't want to be around that energy, whatever it might be. You're growing and becoming. Your father's going to benefit from that. He may not see it now, but he doesn't understand at some point he's going to be 75, he's going to be 85, and you're going to have the tools mentally to take care of him, to add value to his life in his latter days, like he did for you in your early days. So look, it's okay to make these tough decisions. It doesn't mean you don't love your father. Love him, communicate how much you love him, send him cards from a distance, text him, I love you, do all those things. But when it comes to you and your growth and your goals, put it first, period. Put it first. And whatever that means for you, do it. And you don't have to have the approval of other people to understand that. But there's going to come a time where you're going to be stronger, and you're going to walk into those spaces and realize, oh, he don't bother me at all. Right now he bothers you. So it's your responsibility to take care of you. This is opportunity for growth. Right? So I hope I answered your question, Lisa. I apologize. It took so long for me to get that out, but I wanted to share that story with me and my mom because it was very vital, and I'm not proud of the way I treated her. So please respect your parents, honor them, but at the same time, be okay with separating so that you can grow and become the best version of yourself, because it will benefit them in the long run. Much love, Adell Harris.